4700 GRE Vocabulary Words. Disc 3. Glower. Scowl, glare, look or stare angrily. Scowl. Frown angrily. Noun, angry frown. Glut. Overstock, fill beyond capacity, with food, fill to excess. Noun, oversupply. Glutinous. Sticky, viscous, gluey. Glutton. Someone who eats too much. Adjective, gluttonous, given to gluttony, greedy, cf. Gluttony, habit of eating too much. Gnarled. Twisted. Gnarl. Protruding knot on a tree, v. Gnome. Dwarf, underground spirit who guards treasure hoards. Goad. Urge on, drive with a goad, cause someone to do something by continued annoyance. Example, they goaded him into doing it by saying he was a coward. Noun, sharp-pointed stick for driving cattle. Stimulus, cf. Annoy continually. Gorge. Narrow canyon, steep rocky cleft, ravine, made by a stream which runs through it. Gorge. Stuff oneself with food. Glut, cf. Gorgeous, dazzlingly beautiful. Gory. Bloody. Noun, gore, blood, from a wound. Shudder. Shake uncontrollably, tremble, v. Gossamer. Sheer, very light, like cobwebs. Noun, soft and sheer fabric, cobweb. Sheer. Pure, thin and transparent, very steep. Gouge. Tear out, cut out, as if with a gouge. Example, gouge his eyes out. Noun, chisel for cutting out hollow areas in wood. Gouge. Overcharge, with high price, extort from. Example, gouge the public, cf. Usury, gourmand. Epicure, person who takes excessive pleasure in food and drink. Gourmet. Connoisseur of food and drink, epicure. Graduated. Arranged by degrees, of height, difficulty, etc. Graduate. Arrange into categories or grades, divide into marked intervals, for use in measurement. Example, graduated ruler. Granary. Storehouse for grain. Grandeur. Impressiveness, stateliness, majesty. Stately. Formal, ceremonious, grand in style or size, majestic. Grandiloquent. Of a person or speech, using high-sounding or important-sounding language, pompous, bombastic. Grandiose. Affectedly grand, pretentious, high-flown, ridiculously exaggerated, impressive, great in size or scope, grand, example, grandiose ideas, high-flown, highly pretentious or inflated. Matinee. Dramatic or musical performance given in the afternoon. Granulate. Form into grains or granules. Noun, granule, grain or particle. Graphic. Pertaining to the art of delineating, vividly described. Vivid. Of light or color, bright and distinct, evoking lifelike mental images. Example, vivid red hair. Description. Graphite. Black form of carbon used in lead pencils. Grapple. Wrestle, come to grips with, take hold of and struggle with. Example, grapple with the burglar. Grate. Make a harsh noise, have an unpleasant effect, shred by rubbing against a rough surface. Example, grated cheese. Noun, framework of metal bars to hold fuel in a fireplace. Gratify. Please, satisfy. Example, gratify a desire. Gratis. Free, without charge. Adjective. Gratuitous. Given freely, unwarranted, uncalled for, done without good reason. Example, gratuitous comment. Gratuity. Tip. Gravity. Seriousness. Adjective, grave. Gregarious. Sociable, of an animal, tending to form a group. Grievance. Cause of complaint, complaint. Grill. Question severely, cook on a grill. Broil. Noun, cooking surface of parallel metal bars. Broil. Cook by direct heat, in. Grim. Causing great fear, unrelenting, determined in spite of fear. Example, grim smile. Grimace. Facial distortion to show feelings such as pain, disgust, etc. V. Grisly. Ghastly, horrifying. Example, grisly remains of the bodies. Groom. Man employed to take care of horses. Verb, make neat and trim, clean and brush, an animal. Grotesque. Fantastic, comically hideous, strange and unnatural, causing fear or amusement. Hideous. Repulsive to the sight, ugly, repugnant. Example, hideous face, scream. Grotto. Small cavern. Grouse. Complain, fuss, grumble, grouch. Noun, plump chicken-like game bird. Grumble. Complain, mutter discontentedly, grouch, in. Mutter. Utter, complaining words, indistinctly in low tones. Rumble. Make or move with a deep rolling sound, as thunder or stomach. Grovel. Crawl or creep on ground, remain prostrate, behave in a servile manner. Grudging. Unwilling, reluctant, stingy, giving reluctantly. Gruel. Thin liquid porridge. Porridge. Soft food made by boiling oatmeal. Oatmeal. Crushed oats used for making porridge. Grueling. Exhausting, example, grueling marathon race. Gruesome. Grisly, horrible. Gruff. Rough-mannered, of a voice, rough, hoarse. Grunt. Utter a deep guttural sound, as a pig does, in. Guffaw. Boisterous laughter, v. Guile. Deceit, duplicity, wiliness, cunning, example, persuade her by guile. Cunning. Clever in deceiving, sly, noun, cleverness in deceiving, deceit. Guileless. Without deceit. Guise. Outward appearance, costume, example, in a new guise. Gull. Trick, deceive, hoodwink, noun, person who is easily tricked, dupe. Gullible. Easily deceived. Gustatory. Affecting or relating to the sense of taste. Gusto. Eager enjoyment, zest, enthusiasm. Gusty. Windy. Gust. Strong abrupt rush of wind, verb, cf. Bluster. Guy. Cable or chain attached to something that needs to be braced or steadied, cf. Guide. Topple. Become unsteady and fall down. Overthrow. Topple, in. Overturn. Turn over, capsize, topple. Capsize. Of a boat, turn over. Gyroscope. Apparatus used to maintain balance, ascertain direction, etc. Habituate. Accustom or familiarize, addict. Hackles. Hairs on back and neck, especially of a dog, example, make someone's hackles rise. Growl. Low, guttural, menacing sound, as of a dog. Hackneyed. Commonplace, trite. Haggard. Wasted away, gaunt, example, haggard faces of the rescued miners. Haggle. Argue about prices, in an attempt to bargain. Halcyon. Calm, peaceful, example, halcyon days. Hail. Healthy. Hail. Frozen raindrop, verb, salute or greet, precipitate hail. Hallowed. Blessed, consecrated, example, hallowed ground, verb, hallow, set apart as holy. Hallucination. Delusion, false idea, false perception of objects with a compelling sense of their reality, objects so perceived, verb, hallucinate, adjective, hallucinatory. Halting. Hesitant, faltering, not fluent, example, halting steps/voice, verb, halt, proceed or act with uncertainty, falter, hesitate, waver, stop, waver. Move or swing back and forth, be uncertain or unsteady in decision or movement, example, wavering between accepting and refusing. Hamper. Obstruct, prevent the free movement of, noun. Hap. Chance, luck. Haphazard. Random, by chance, happening in an unplanned manner, example, haphazard growth of the town. Hapless. Unfortunate, luckless. Harangue. Long, passionate, and vehement speech, v. Harass. Annoy by repeated attacks. Harbinger. Forerunner, which foreshadows what is to come. Harbor. Give protection, by giving food and shelter, provide a refuge for, hide, keep in mind, thoughts or feelings, example, harbor a grudge/criminal, noun, place of shelter, refuge. Habitat. National home of a plant or animal, cf. Habitation. Hardy. Of people or animals, sturdy, robust, of plants, able to stand inclement stormy weather. Harping. Tiresome dwelling on a subject, verb, harp, dwell on, think or speak a lot about, tediously. Harrowing. Agonizing, distressing, traumatic, verb, harrow, break up and level, soil, with a harrow, inflict great distress on, agonize, noun, farming machine to break up the earth. Harry. Harass, annoy, torment, by repeated attacks, raid. Hatch. Deck opening, lid covering a deck opening, verb, emerge from an egg, produce, young, from an egg. Latch. Fastening or lock consisting of a movable bar that fits into a notch, verb, close with a latch. Notch. V-shaped cut in a surface, V. Haughtiness. Pride, arrogance, adjective, haughty. Haunt. Of a spirit, visit, a place, come to mind continually, visit, a place, regularly, frequent, example, haunted house, example, haunted by his last words, noun, place much frequented. Haven. Place of safety, refuge, harbor, example, tax haven. Havoc. Widespread damage, disorder, chaos. Hazardous. Dangerous. Hazard. Venture, put in danger, risk, example, hazard a guess, noun, possible source of danger. Hazy. Slightly obscure, misty, unclear, noun, haze, light mist or smoke, confused state of mind. Headlong. Hasty, rash, headfirst, adverb. Headfirst. Moving with the head leading, headlong. Headstrong. Willful, stubborn, unyielding, determined to have one's own way, cf. No excessive. Heckler. Person who verbally harasses others, verb, heckle, verbally harass as with jibes, by interrupting a speaker or speech. Hedonist. One who believes that pleasure is the sole aim in life, cf. Hedonism, practice of living one's life purely for pleasure. Heedless. Not noticing, disregarding. Heed. Pay attention to, noun, close attention. Hegemony. Dominance especially of one nation over others. Heinous. Atrocious, wicked, hatefully bad, example, heinous crime. Gross. Total, fragrant, clearly wrong, of people's behavior, coarse, corpulent, example, gross insolence/behavior, verb, earn as a total amount, noun, 12 dozens. Helm. Steering wheel of a ship, position of control. Herbivorous. Grain eating, cf. Herbivore. Heresy. Opinion contrary to popular belief, opinion contrary to accepted religion, adjective, heretical, cf. Heretic, hermetic. Sealed by fusion so as to be airtight, airtight. Hermetic. Concerning alchemy or magic, obscure and mysterious, occult. Sterile. Incapable of producing young, free from microorganism, verb, sterilize. Hermitage. Home of a hermit. Herpetologist. One who studies reptiles, cf. Herpetology, branch of zoology that deals with reptiles and amphibians. Heterodox. Of beliefs, against accepted opinion, unorthodox, unconventional. Heterogeneous. dissimilar, mixed, not homogeneous, consisting of dissimilar elements or plants. Hew. Cut to pieces with axe or sword, chop, in. Heyday. Time of greatest success or power, prime. Prime. Period of ideal or peak condition, earliest or beginning stage, example, in the prime of life, example, prime of the year spring, adjective, first in importance or rank, first, verb, make ready, prepare. Primary. First in rank or importance, principal, earliest in time, example, primary stages, noun, cf. First, primal. First in rank or importance, being first in time, original, example, man's primal innocence. Primate. Group of mammals including humans. Hiatus. Gap, pause, gap or interruption in space or time, break. Hibernal. Wintry, wintry, of or like winter. Hibernate. Sleep throughout the winter, noun, hibernation. Hierarchy. Arrangement by rank or standing, authoritarian body divided into ranks, body of persons having authority. Totem. Animal, plant, or natural object serving as a symbol of a clan or family, representation of this, example, totem pole. Hieroglyphic. Picture writing, adjective. Hilarity. Boisterous mirth, merriment, laughter, adjective, hilarious, full of laughter. Hindmost. Furthest behind, farthest to the rear. Wage. Begin and continue, a war. Hindrance. Block, obstacle, verb, hinder. Hinterlands. Backcountry, inner part of a country, up, Thorland. Hireling. One who serves for hire, usually used contemptuously, one who works solely for compensation, example, hireling politician. Hirsute. Hairy, having a lot of hair. Histrionic. Theatrical, excessively dramatic or emotional, affected, of actors or acting, noun, histrionics, histrionic behavior. Historic. Important in history, example, historic battle. Historical. Connected with history, based on events in history, whether regarded as important or not. Hoard. Stockpile, accumulate for future use, noun, supply stored for future use. Hoary. White with age. Hoax. Trick which makes someone take action, practical joke, example, hoax mail, v. Holocaust. Destruction by fire, cf. Burnt hole, cf. Holocaust. Holster. Leather pistol case, that hangs on a belt around the waist. homage. Honor, tribute, great respect, example, pay, do homage to. Homeostasis. Tendency of a system or organism to maintain relative stability or internal equilibrium, cf. Homeo, constant, example, homeotherm. Homespun. Domestic, made at home, spun or woven at home, simple and ordinary, example, homespun philosophy. Spin. Rotate swiftly, make, thread, by twisting, cotton, wool, etc., in. Homily. Sermon, tedious moralizing lecture, serious warning, adjective, homiletic. Homogeneous. Of the same kind, uniform in composition throughout. Hone. Sharpen, a tool, noun, whetstone for sharpening a tool. Hoodwink. Deceive, delude. Horde. Crowd, swarm. Swarm. Large group of insects moving in a mass, crowd of people or animals. Verb, move in a crowd or mass. Hortatory. Encouraging, exhortive, marked by exhortation, cf. Exhort. Horticultural. Pertaining to cultivation of gardens, noun, horticulture, science or art of cultivating fruits, vegetables, or ornamental plants, cf. Agriculture, science or art of farming or growing crops. Hostility. Unfriendliness, hatred, enmity, adjective, hostile. Hovel. Shack, small wretched house. Hut. Crude dwelling, shack. Shack. Crude cabin. Shed. Small roofed structure for storage and shelter. Verb, pour forth, lose by natural process, repel without allowing penetration, radiate, cast, example, shed tears / light / water / skin / leaves. Hover. Hang about, of birds or aircraft, stay in the air in one place, of people, wait nearby, stay around one place, waver, be in an uncertain state. Hubbub. Confused uproar, loud noise, din. Hubris. Arrogance, excessive self-conceit. Hue. Color, aspect, example, opinions of every hue. Hue _ cry. Outcry, loud cry or clamor, strong protest, example, hue and cry against the new rule. Humane. Marked by kindness or consideration, kind and compassionate, humanitarian. Humanitarian. One devoted to the promotion of human welfare, cf. Humanism. Humdrum. Dull, monotonous. Humid. Damp, noun, humidity. Humility. Humbleness of spirit. Humble. Of low rank or position, modest, having a low opinion of oneself and a high opinion of others, unassuming, not proud. Verb, humiliate, make humble, cause to feel ashamed or to lose the respect of others. Hummock. Small hill, hillock. Humus. Substance or rich soil formed by decaying vegetable matter, cf. soil. Hurdle. Crash, rush, move with great speed, example, hurtling runaway train. Husband. Use sparingly, conserve, save, example, husband one's energy, cf. householder, husbandry. Frugality, thrift, economy, agriculture, farming, example, animal husbandry, cf. husbandman, hybrid. Mongrel, mixed breed, verb, hybridize. Mongrel. Plant or animal, isp. A dog, of mixed breed, adjective. Pedigree. Line of ancestors, ancestry, lineage, adjective, of an animal, descended from of a chosen family, example, pedigree dog, cf. crane's foot. Hydrophobia. Fear of water, rabies. Rabies. Disease passed on by the bite of an infected animal, causing madness and death. Hygiene. Science and practice of the promotion and preservation of health, adjective, hygienic, showing careful attention to cleanness, to prevent disease, example, hygienic condition. Hyperbole. Exaggeration, overstatement, adjective, hyperbolic, of hyperbole, of a hyperbola. Hypercritical. Excessively exacting, too critical, without noticing good qualities. Hypochondriac. Person unduly worried about his health, worrier without cause about illness, adjective, cf. Hypochondria, neurosis that one is or is becoming ill, cf. Abdomen. Hypocritical. Pretending to be virtuous, deceiving, noun, hypocrisy, profession of beliefs one does not possess, cf. Hypocrite. Hypothetical. Based on assumptions or hypotheses, supposed, noun, hypothesis. Ichthyology. Study of fish, cf. Ichthyo, fish. Icon. Religious image, idol, image or representation. Iconoclastic. Attacking cherished traditions, noun, iconoclast, one who attacks traditional ideas, one who destroys sacred images. Ideology. System of ideas characteristic of a group or culture. Idiom. Expression whose meaning as a whole differs from the meanings of its individual words, distinctive style, of expression, example, idiom of the modern popular music, adjective, idiomatic. Idiosyncrasy. Individual trait usually odd in nature, behavioral peculiarity, eccentricity, attitude, behavior, or opinion peculiar to a person, anything highly individual or eccentric, adjective, idiosyncratic. Idolatry. worship of idols, excessive admiration or devotion. Adjective, idolatrous. Idyllic. Charmingly carefree, simple and happy. Example, idyllic scene. Idle. Short poem idealizing rural life, simple happy period of life, in the country, seen from such a time. Example, idyll of two young lovers. Igneous. Produced by fire, of fire, volcanic, of rocks, formed from lava. Example, igneous meteorite. Ignite. Kindle, light, catch fire or set fire to. Ignoble. Unworthy, not noble, dishonorable. Example, ignoble deed. Ignominy. Deep disgrace, shame or dishonor. Adjective, ignominious. Example, ignominious defeat. Illicit. Illegal. Illimitable. Infinite, limitless. Illuminate. Brighten, clear up or make understandable. Enlighten, enable to understand. Example, illuminating remarks. Illusion. Misleading vision or visual image, false idea or belief. Cf. Delusion. Elusive. Deceiving, based on illusion, causing illusion, deceptive. Illusory. Elusive, deceptive, not real. Imbalance. Lack of balance or symmetry, disproportion. Disproportion. Lack of proportion, between the parts. Adjective, disproportionate. Imbecility. Weakness of mind, state of being an imbecile. Noun, imbecile, stupid person, fool. Imbibe. Drink in. Imbroglio. Complicated situation, as in a play, painful or complex misunderstanding, as in a play, entanglement, confused mass, as of papers. Verb, embroil. Imbue. Saturate, soak thoroughly, fill. Example, imbue someone with feelings. Immaculate. Spotless, flawless, absolutely clean. Tenant. One that pays rent to use property owned by another. Tenancy. Possession of land or building by rent, period of a tenant's occupancy. Imminent. Impending, near at hand. Immobility. State of being immovable. Immolate. Offer or kill as a sacrifice, by fire. Immune. Resistant to, free or exempt from. Noun, immunity. Immure. Imprison, shut up in confinement. Cf. Wall. Immutable. unchangeable. Impair. Injure, hurt, damage. Impale. Pierce, with a sharp point, example, impaled by the spear. Impalpable. Imperceptible, not easily understood, intangible, palpable, tangible, easily perceptible. Impartial. Not biased, fair, noun, impartiality. Impart. Grant a share of, make known, example, news to impart. Impassable. Not able to be traveled or crossed. Impasse. Predicament, dangerous condition, from which there is no escape, situation allowing for no further progress. Impassive. Without feeling, expressionless, imperturbable, stoical, example, impassive face. Impeach. Charge, a public official, with crime in office, raise doubts about, indict, example, impeach a witness's credibility. Impeccable. Faultless. Credential. Evidence concerning one's authority, written proof of a person's position, example, the new ambassador presented his credentials to the court. Impecunious. Without money. Impede. Hide, retard or obstruct the progress of, block. Retard. Delay, in development, adjective, retarded, as of a child, slower in development. Impediment. Hindrance, stumbling block, speech defect preventing clear articulation, example, speech impediment. Impel. Drive or force onward, drive to take action, urge to action. Impending. Nearing, approaching, about to happen. Impenetrable. Not able to be pierced or entered, beyond understanding, impossible to understand, example, impenetrable mystery. Impenitent. Not repentant. Imperative. Absolutely necessary, that must be done, critically important, expressing command, example, it is imperative that, noun, something that must be done. Imperceptible. Unnoticeable, impossible to perceive, undetectable. Imperial. Like an emperor, related to an empire, cf. Imperialism. Imperil. Put in danger. Imperious. Domineering, too commanding, haughty, cf. Imperial, emperor. Impermeable. Impervious, not permitting passage through its substance, impossible to permeate. Impertinent. Insolent, rude, not pertinent, noun, impertinence. Imperturbable. Unshakably calm, placid. Collected. Composed, calm, self-possessed. impervious, impenetrable, incapable of being damaged or distressed, incapable of being affected, in one's opinions, example, impervious to water, criticism. Impetuous, violent, hasty, rash, impulsive, without careful thought, example, impetuous decision, impetus. Moving force, momentum, force of a moving body, incentive, stimulus, impulse, impiety. Irreverence, lack of respect for God or piety. Impinge, infringe, encroach, influence, touch, collide, fault with, example, the effects are impinging on every aspect of our lives. Impious, irreverent, implacable, incapable of being pacified, impossible to appease, example, implacable enemy. Implausible, unlikely to be true, unbelievable, example, implausible alibi. Implement, put into effect, enforce, carry out, supply with tools, example, implement the plan/suggestion, noun, tool or instrument. Implicate, incriminate, involve incriminatingly, show to be involved, in a crime, example, implicate someone in the crime. Implication, something hinted at or suggested, implying, implicating. Implicit, understood but not stated, implied, unquestioning and complete, example, implicit trust. Implode, burst inward, cf. vacuum tube. Implore, beg. Imply, suggest a meaning not expressed, signify. Impolitic, not wise, not expedient, not politic. Imponderable, weightless, that cannot undergo precise evaluation, cf. pound. Import, significance, importance, meaning. Significant, expressing a meaning, important, example, significant smile, noun, significance, importance, meaning, verb, signify, denote, mean, signal, make known, matter, be significant, importunate. Urging, always demanding, troublesomely urgent or persistent. Importune, beg persistently, make repeated requests, in an annoying way. Imposture, assuming a false identity, masquerade, cf. imposter. Masquerade, wear a mask or disguise, pretend, noun, costume party or ball at which masks are worn, pretense, disguise. Impotent, weak, ineffective, lacking in physical strength or power. Grave, desire, want intensely. Imprecation, curse, swear word. Impregnable, invulnerable, impossible to capture or enter by force. Example, impregnable /argument, cf. Take, impregnate. Make pregnant, fill thoroughly, saturate. Impromptu. Without previous preparation, off the cuff end of a sleeve, on the spur of the moment. Impropriety. Improperness, unsuitableness. Improvident. Thriftless, not providing for the future. Improvise. Compose on the spur of the moment. Imprudent. Lacking caution, not prudent, injudicious. Impudence. Impertinence, insolence. Impugn. Dispute or contradict, often in an insulting way, attack as false or questionable, challenge, gainsay, cf. Fight, impuissance. Powerlessness, feebleness. Impunity. Freedom from punishment or harm, cf. Punish. Impute. Attribute, ascribe, charge, noun, imputation. Inadvertently. Unintentionally, by oversight, carelessly. Oversee. Watch over and direct, supervise, noun, oversight, unintentional failure to notice or do something, supervision. Inalienable. Not to be taken away, non-transferable, example, inalienable rights. Inane. Silly, senseless, example, inane remarks, noun, inanity. Inanimate. Lifeless, not animate. Inarticulate. Speechless, producing indistinct speech, not articulate, not expressing oneself clearly. Speechless. Unable for the moment to speak, because of strong feeling, example, speechless with anger. Inaugurate. Begin formally, install in office, induct into office by a formal ceremony, noun, inauguration, adjective, inaugural. Incandescent. Strikingly bright, shining with intense heat, emitting visible light when heated, example, incandescent light bulb, cf. Candle. Incantation. Singing or chanting of magic spells, magical formula, the saying of, words used in magic, cf. Enchant. Chant. Tune melody in which a number of words are sung on the same note, verb, sing, a chant, utter, a slogan, in the manner of a chant. Charm. Quality of pleasing, amulet, action or formula thought to have magical power, spell, verb, attract, cast a spell on, bewitch. Bewitch. Cast a spell over, captivate completely. Recite. Repeat aloud, something learned, describe, example, recite his complaints, noun, recitation. Recital. Act of reciting publicly, detailed account, performance of music or dance, by a solo performer. Incapacitate. Disable, noun, incapacity, lack of capacity. Incarcerate, imprison. Incarnate, endowed with flesh, invested with bodily form, personified. Example, devil incarnate. Verb, give bodily form to, embody. Incarnation, act of assuming a human body and human nature, one who personifies something. Personification. Example, previous incarnation, reincarnation. Personify, represent an inanimate object as a person, be the embodiment or perfect example of. Example, she is evil. Patience personified. Noun, personification. Incendiary, arsonist. Adjective, causing fire, of arson. Example, incendiary bomb. Incense, enrage, infuriate, make furious, make extremely angry. Outrage. Noun, aromatic substance burned to produce a pleasant odor. Incentive, spur, motive, something which encourages one to greater activity. Inception, start, beginning. Incessant, uninterrupted, unceasing. Inchoate, of desire, wish, plan, recently begun, not explicit, at the beginning of development. Rudimentary, elementary. Example, inchoate math. Incidence, rate of occurrence, particular occurrence. Example, high incidence of infant mortality. Incidental, not essential, minor. Noun, something incidental. Incident, event, event that causes a crisis. Incinerate, burn to ashes. Incipient, beginning, in an early stage. Incisive, appreciatively, cutting, sharp. Example, incisive remarks. Verb, incise, make a cut into, incite. Arouse to action, goad, motivate, induce to exist. Example, incite a riot, the crowd to rebellion. Inclement, stormy, unkind, unmerciful. Cf. Clement. Incline, slope, slant. Example, steep incline. Inclined, tending or leaning toward, bent. Verb, incline, slant, dispose, be disposed, tend, tend. Have a tendency, take care of, minister, serve at, apply one's attention, attend. Inclusive, tending to include all inclusive. Example, inclusive charge. Incognito, with identity concealed, using an assumed name. Adjective, incoherent, unintelligible, muddled, unable to express one's thoughts in an orderly manner, illogical, lacking cohesion, not coherent. Incommodious, not spacious, inconvenient. Incompatible, inharmonious. Noun, incompatibility. Incongruity, lack of harmony, absurdity. Adjective, incongruous, lacking in harmony, inappropriate. Attire. Clothe, noun, clothing, array, apparel. Inconsequential. Insignificant, unimportant. Inconsistency. State of being self-contradictory, lack of uniformity or steadiness. Adjective, inconsistent, displaying a lack of consistency, erratic, contradictory, incompatible. Incontinent. Lacking self-restraint, not continent, licentious. Incontrovertible. Indisputable, impossible to dispute, not open to question, unquestionable. Incorporate. Introduce something into a larger whole, include, embody, give material form to. Adjective. Incorporeal. Without a material body, insubstantial. Incorrigible. Uncorrectable. Incredulity. Tendency to disbelief. Incredulous. Withholding belief, skeptical, showing disbelief. Increment. Increase. Incriminate. Accuse of or implicate in a crime, serve as evidence against, cause to seem or make guilty of a crime. Example, incriminating evidence. Incrustation. Hard coating or crust. Verb, encrust, cover with a crust. Incubate. Hatch, warm, eggs, with a body to promote hatching, maintain at optimal environment conditions for development, be holding in one's body an infection which is going to develop into a disease. Noun, incubation, cf. Incubatio noun disease. Inasmuch as. Since, owing to the fact that. Incubus. Burden, very worrying problem, mental care, nightmare, male devil, cf. Succubus, inculcate. Teach, ideas or principles, instill. Incumbent. Obligatory, imposed as an obligation, currently holding an office. Noun, person who holds an office. Incur. Bring upon oneself. Incursion. Temporary invasion, cf. Excursio noun short journey. Indefatigable. Tireless, untiring, showing no sign of getting tired. Indelible. Not able to be erased. Indemnify. Make secure against damage or loss, compensate for damage or loss, cf. Make uninjured. Indentation. Notch, deep recess, verb, indent, cf. Tooth. Indenture. Bind as servant or apprentice to master, bind by indenture. Noun, contract binding one party into the service of another for a specified time, as between an apprentice and his master. Indeterminate. Uncertain, not clearly fixed, indefinite. Indicative. suggestive, implying, serving to indicate. Indices. Signs, indications, example, indices of a student's potential, cf. Index, something that reveals or indicates, sign, example, cost of living index, indict. Charge, noun, indictment. Indifferent. Unmoved or unconcerned by, having no interest in, mediocre, neither good nor bad. Indigence. Poverty. Indigenous. Native, example, plant indigenous to the New World. Indigent. Poor, destitute. Indignation. Anger at an injustice, example, righteous indignation, adjective, indignant. Righteous. Morally upright, just. Rightful. Legally correct, example, rightful owner. Indignity. Treatment or situation that causes shame or a loss of dignity, respect, offensive or insulting treatment, humiliating or degrading treatment, example, I suffered the indignity of having to say that in front of them. Indiscriminate. Choosing at random, confused, not based on careful distinctions. Indisputable. Too certain to be disputed, beyond doubt. Indissoluble. Permanent, impossible to dissolve or disintegrate. Indite. Write, compose. Indolent. Lazy. Indomitable. Unconquerable, unyielding. Indubitable. Unable to be doubted, which cannot be doubted, unquestionable. Induce. Persuade, lead to do something, bring about, noun, inducement. Inductive. Pertaining to induction or proceeding from the specific to the general. Induct. Place formally in office, install, admit as a member, initiate, noun, inductio noun inducting, process of deriving general principles from particular facts. Indulgent. Humoring, yielding, lenient, showing indulgence. Indulge. Yield to, gratify, allow oneself a special pleasure, example, indulge one's every whim, a child, in a big cigarette, noun, indulgence, humor. Indulge, comply with the wishes of, noun, quality that makes something amusing, state of mind, mood, example, in a bad humor, example, out of humor. Industrious. Diligent, hardworking, noun, industry. Inebriated. Habitually intoxicated, drunk, noun, inebriety. Inebriate. Make drunk, intoxicate, noun, intoxicated person. intoxicate. Make drunk, stimulate or excite, example, intoxicated by all the money he might win. Ineffable. Unutterable, not to be uttered, taboo, that cannot be expressed in speech, indescribable, unspeakable, inexpressible, example, ineffable name, joy. Ineffectual. Not effective, not having a desired effect, weak. Ineluctable. Irresistible, not to be escaped, unavoidable. Inept. Unsuited, inappropriate, lacking skill, incompetent, cf. Inapt, of statements or ideas, inappropriate. Inequity. Unfairness, adjective, inequitable. Inerrancy. Infallibility. Inert. Inactive, lacking power to move, unable to move or act, example, chemically inert, noun, inertia, state of being inert, force which keeps a thing in the position or state. Inevitable. Unavoidable. Inexorable. Relentless, unyielding, implacable, not capable of being changed by entreaty or efforts, example, inexorable price rises. Infallible. Unerring, never making mistakes. Infamous. Notoriously bad, notorious, well known for being bad, example, infamous behavior, noun, infamy, infamous act, evil fame or reputation. Infantile. Childish, infant-like. Infer. Deduce, conclude, noun, inference. Infernal. Pertaining to hell, devilish, noun, inferno, place of fiery heat or destruction. Infidel. Unbeliever, with respect to a particular religion. Infiltrate. Pass into or through, penetrate or enter, an organization, sneakily, example, infiltrate the troops into enemy territory, cf. Infiltrator. Penetrate. Enter into, pierce, permeate, see through, grasp the inner significance of, understand. Infinitesimal. Very small. Infirmity. Weakness. Inflated. Exaggerated, pompous, enlarged, with air or gas. Influx. Flowing into. Infraction. Violation, of a rule or regulation, breach. Infringe. Violate, a law, encroach, the right of another person. Ingenious. Marked by inventive skill, clever, resourceful, noun, ingenuity. Resourceful. Clever and imaginative, in dealing with difficult situations, noun, resource, resourcefulness. Ingenuous. Naive and trusting, young, unsophisticated, candid. Ingenue. Ingenue, young innocent girl. Ingrained. deeply established, firmly rooted, example, ingrained dirt, prejudice. Ingrate. Ungrateful person, not expressing thanks. Ingratiate. Become popular with, bring, oneself, in favor of another, example, ingratiate himself with the boss. Inherent. Firmly established by nature or habit, intrinsic. Inhibit. Restrain, prohibit, retard or prevent, noun, inhibition. Inhibited. Of a person, unable to express what one really feels. Uninhibited. Having no inhibitions, free in behavior and feelings. Inimical. Of someone, unfriendly, hostile, of something, harmful, detrimental, cf. Enemy, inimitable. Matchless, not able to be imitated. Iniquitous. Wicked, immoral, unrighteous, noun, iniquity, example, den of iniquity. Initiate. Begin, originate, receive into a group, introduce to a new field or activity, example, initiate someone into the mysteries of a secret religion, noun, one who has been initiated. Injurious. Harmful, causing injury. Inkling. Hint, slight indication. Innate. Inborn. Innocuous. Harmless. Innovation. Change, something newly introduced, introduction of something new. Verb, innovate, begin or introduce, something new, be creative. Adjective, innovative. Innuendo. Indirect or subtle, derogatory, hint, insinuation, example, sexual innuendo, inopportune. Untimely, inappropriate or ill-timed, poorly chosen. Inordinate. Beyond reasonable limits, unrestrained, excessive, example, inordinate demands. Inquisitor. Questioner, especially harsh, investigator, person making an inquisition. Inquisitive. Eager for knowledge, unduly curious. Insalubrious. Unwholesome, not healthful, example, insalubrious place. Healthful. Conducive to good health, example, healthful mountain air. Healthy. Possessing good health, healthful. Wholesome. Conducive to mental or physical health, healthful. Insatiable. Not easily satisfied, unquenchable, example, insatiable appetite. Inscrutable. Difficult to understand, impenetrable, not readily understood, mysterious. insensate. Without feeling, lacking sense, foolish. Insensible. Unconscious, unresponsive, insensitive, unaware, imperceptible. Example, insensible of his danger, to pain. Example, insensible change, cf. Not the opposite of sensible, insidious. Treacherous, stealthy, sly, working or spreading harmfully in a stealthy manner. Example, insidious spreading of dry rot. Insightful. Discerning, perceptive. Insinuate. Hint, imply, suggest indirectly, creep in, introduce or insert oneself by artful means. Example, insinuate himself into the boss's favor. Cf. Ingratiate, creep. Move with body close to the ground, move stealthily or slowly, in. Artful. Exhibiting art or skill, deceitful, cunning, cf. Artifice. Insipid. Lacking in flavor, lacking interest, dull. Example, insipid food, character. Insolence. Impudent disrespect, haughtiness. Adjective, insolent, cf. Haughty plus rude, insolvent. Bankrupt, lacking money to pay. Noun, insolvency. Insomnia. Wakefulness, inability to sleep. Insouciant. Without concern or care, unconcerned, indifferent. Instigate. Start, urge, provoke, incite. Example, instigate a search, quarrel. Insubordination. Disobedience, rebelliousness. Adjective, insubordinate. Insubstantial. Lacking substance, insignificant, frail, immaterial. Insularity. Narrow-mindedness, isolation. Adjective, insular, of an island, isolated, narrow-minded. Cf. Peninsula, insuperable. Insurmountable, unbeatable. Example, insuperable difficulties. Odds. Chances, probability, disagreement. Example, the odds are that it will rain. Example, at odds with. Insurgent. Rebellious, insurmountable. Overwhelming, unbeatable, insuperable. Insurrection. Rebellion, uprising. Intangible. Not able to be perceived by touch, vague. Integral. Complete, necessary for completeness. Example, integral part. Integrate. Make whole, combine, make into one unit. Integrity. Honesty, uprightness, wholeness, state of being whole and undivided, completeness. Upright. Sitting or standing, straight up, honest, moral. intellect. Higher mental powers, person of great intellectual ability. Intelligentsia. Intellectuals, members of the educated elite, often used derogatorily. Inter. Bury, noun, interment. Cemetery. Place for burying the dead. Interdict. Prohibit, forbid, in. Interim. Meantime, example, in the interim, adjective, taking place during an interim, example, interim paper. Interloper. Intruder, one who interferes. Interminable. Endless. Intermittent. Periodic, on and off, stopping and starting at intervals. Internecine. Mutually destructive. Interpolate. Insert between. Interregnum. Period between two successive reigns or governments. Interrogate. Question closely, cross-examine, cross-question. Intervene. Come between, interfere, example, intervene to prevent a fight. Noun, intervention. Intimate. Hint, suggest, imply, adjective, marked by close relationship, familiar, private, personal, example, intimate knowledge, thoughts in the diary. Noun, close friend or confidant, cf. Intimacy, intimidate. Frighten, noun, intimidation. Intractable. Unruly, difficult to manage, example, intractable problem, child. Intransigence. Refusal of any compromise, stubbornness, adjective, intransigent, uncompromising. Intrepid. Fearless. Intrinsic. Essential, inherent, built-in. Introspective. Looking within oneself. Noun, introspectio. Noun, self-examination. Introvert. One who is introspective or inclined to think more about oneself. Adjective, introverted. Intrude. Put or force in without being asked. Trespass, enter as an uninvited person, example, intrude one's own opinion into the report, cf. Thrust in. Intuition. Immediate insight, power of knowing without reasoning, adjective, intuitive, verb, intuit, know by intuition. Inundate. Flood, overflow, submerge, cover completely, example, inundated with work. Overwhelm. Of water, cover completely, defeat completely by much greater force, example, overwhelmed by grief. Submerge. Place underwater, dip, go underwater, cover completely, as with water, example, submerged in work. Engulf. Surround and swallow up. Inured. Accustomed, hardened, example, inure to the Alaskan cold, verb, inure, make use to something undesirable, harden, cf. Unfeeling. Invalidate. Weaken, destroy, make invalid, nullify. Invalid. One incapacitated, disabled by a chronic illness. Adjective, incapacitated by illness, not valid, null. Verb, allowed to leave, a military force, because of ill health. Invective. Abuse. Inveigh. Denounce, utter censure or invective, example, inveigh against the evils of drink. Inveigle. Deceive, lead astray by deception, wheedle, cajole, example, inveigle her into joining the club, cf. Interest dishonestly. Inverse. Opposite. Invert. Turn upside down or inside out, reverse the position or condition of. Inveterate. Deep-rooted, habitual, cf. Grow old. Invidious. Designed to create ill will or envy, tending to rouse ill will or envy, example, invidious comparison. Invincible. Unconquerable. Inviolable. Secure from corruption, attack, or violation or profanation, unassailable, example, inviolable oath/rights, noun, inviolability. Invocation. Prayer for help, used in invoking, calling upon as a reference or support, act of invoking. Invoke. Call and bring into use, a right or law, call on, upon, a higher power or God, for help, ask for, beg for, conjure, a spirit, example, invoke the veto power, example, invoke one's advisor, God. Invulnerable. Incapable of injury, impossible to damage or injure. Iota. Very small quantity. Irascible. Irritable, easily angered. Irate. Angry, cf. Ire, anger, wrath. Iridescent. Exhibiting rainbow-like colors, example, iridescent oil slick, noun, iridescence. Irksome. Annoying, tedious, verb, irk, annoy. Ironic. Expressing irony, occurring in an unexpected and contrary manner. Irony. Hidden sarcasm or satire, use of words that seem to mean the opposite of what they actually mean, use of words to convey the opposite of their literal meaning. Irreconcilable. Impossible to reconcile, incompatible, not able to be resolved. Irrefutable. Indisputable, incontrovertible, undeniable. Irrelevant. Not applicable, unrelated. Irremediable. Incurable, uncorrectable, impossible to remedy. Irreparable. Not able to be corrected or repaired, impossible to repair. Irrepressible, unable to be restrained or held back, impossible to hold back. Irreproachable. Beyond reproach, blameless, impeccable. Example, irreproachable conduct. Irresolute. Uncertain how to act, weak, lacking in resolution, indecisive. Noun, irresolution. Indecisive. Marked by indecision, inconclusive. Example, indecisive battle. Indecision. Irresolution, inability to make up one's mind. Irretrievable. Impossible to recover or regain, cf. retrieve. Irreverence. Lack of proper respect or reverence, adjective, irreverent. Irrevocable. Unalterable, irreversible, impossible to revoke. Isotope. Varying from of an element. Isthmus. Narrow neck of land connecting two larger bodies of land. Itinerant. Wandering, traveling from place to place, to perform work. Example, itinerant preacher. Itinerary. Plan of a trip, record of a trip. Jabber. Chatter rapidly or unintelligibly. Jab. Poke abruptly with something sharp, punch with short blows. Jaded. Tired or uninterested by surfeit, fatigued, surfeited, worn out, wearied. Example, jaded appetite. Jargon. Language used by special group, technical terminology, gibberish, nonsensical or incoherent talk. Jaundiced. Yellowed, prejudiced, envious, hostile, or resentful, from long and disappointing experience of human affairs. Example, with a jaundiced eye. Jaundice. Medical condition in which the skin, the white part of the eyes, etc. turn yellow. Verb, affect with jaundice, affect with prejudice, envy, or hostility, bias. Jaunt. Trip, short journey. Jaunty. Cheerful and pleased with life, light-hearted, animated, easy and carefree, dapper in appearance. Example, jaunty person, hat. Jeopardize. Endanger, imperil, put at risk. Noun, jeopardy, danger. Jettison. Throw overboard, from a ship or plane. Jibe. Agree, be in harmony with, jibe. Jingoist. Extremely aggressive and militant patriot, warlike chauvinist. Noun, jingoism, extreme nationalism. Jocose. Given to having a tendency of, joking. Jocular. Said or done in jest or playfully, marked by joking. jest. Playful remark or act, verb, act or speak playfully. Jocund. Merry. Jollity. Gaiety, cheerfulness, adjective, jolly, merry, gay. Jostle. Shove, bump, push against someone, rather roughly, example, jostled by the crowds. Shove. Push forward, push roughly, example, pushing and shoving to get on the bus, in. Bump. Hit or knock against with force, in. Jovial. Good-natured, merry, cheerful. Jubilation. Rejoicing, great joy. Judicious. Sound on judgment, wise. Juggernaut. Irresistible crushing force, overwhelming advancing force that crushes everything in its path. Jug. Pitcher, container for holding liquids. Juncture. Crisis, point in time, joining point, joint, act of joining. Junket. Trip, especially one taken for pleasure by an official at public expense. Junta. Group of persons joined in political intrigue, cabal, group of military officers ruling a country after seizing power, by force. Jurisprudence. Science of law. Jurisdiction. Right and power to apply the law, authority. Juridical. Of the law and its administration, cf. Judicial, of courts of law, cf. Judiciary, juxtapose. Place side by side, cf. Next. Kaleidoscope. Tube in which patterns made by the reflection in mirrors of colored pieces of glass, etc. produce interesting symmetrical effects, series of changing events, example, kaleidoscope of European history, cf. Beautiful. Ken. Range of knowledge, example, beyond one's ken. Kernel. Central or vital part, core, whole seed, as of corn. Killjoy. Grouch, spoil sport, one who intentionally spoils the pleasure of others. Grouch. Bad-tempered complaint, person who keeps complaining, verb, complain, grumble. Spoil sport. One who spoils the pleasure of others. Kindle. Start a fire, ignite, inspire, arouse. Kindred. Related, belonging to the same group, similar in nature or character, example, kindred languages, noun, relative, kin, kinship. Kinetic. Producing motion, of motion. Kismet. Fate, destiny, example, kismet is the Arabic word for fate. Kleptomaniac. person who has a compulsive desire to steal. Knave. Untrustworthy person, rogue, scoundrel, jack. Noun, knavery. Knead. Mix, work dough, mix and work into a uniform mass, with the hands, example, knead dough. Knell. Tolling of a bell especially to indicate a funeral, disaster, etc., sound of the funeral bell, v. Toll. Sound, a large bell, slowly at regular intervals. Noun, sound of a bell, fixed tax or charge. Curfew. Regulation requiring all people to leave the streets at stated times. Signal, as a bell, announcing the hour of a curfew. Knit. Contract into wrinkles, grow together, join together closely, make, a fabric or garment, by intertwining yarn or thread. Example, knit the brow. Example, the bones should knit together in a few weeks. Crochet. Make, a piece of needlework, by looping thread with a hooked needle. Noun, cf. crochet. Knoll. Little round hill, hillock. Knotty. Intricate, difficult, tangled, cf. knot. Kudos. Honor, glory, acclaim or praise for exceptional achievement. Entourage. Group of attendants, retinue, cf. surround. Label. Likely to change, unstable. Example, emotionally labile. Noun, lability. Laborious. Demanding much work or care, tedious. Labyrinth. Maze. Laceration. Torn ragged wound. Verb, lacerate, tear, the skin is with broken glass, wound. Rip. Tear or be torn quickly and violently. Example, the sail ripped under the force of the wind. In. Rag. Scrap of cloth. Adjective, ragged, old and torn, seeming unfinished and imperfect. Example, ragged debut, performance. Lachrymose. Producing tears, tearful. Lackadaisical. Lacking interest or effort, lacking purpose or zest, lazy, half-hearted, languid. Half-hearted. Exhibiting little interest or enthusiasm. Lackluster. Lacking luster, shine, gloss, dull. Laconic. Brief and to the point, using few words, terse. Laggard. Slow, sluggish. Noun, one who lags, straggler. Lag. Move or develop more slowly, straggle. Example, lag behind the rest. In. Straggle. Stray or fall behind, a main group, spread out in a scattered group. Example, straggling marathon racer. Example, straggling branch. Lagoon. Shallow body of water or a lake near a sea, lake separated from a sea by sandbars or coral reefs. Laity. Laypersons, laymen, persons not connected with the clergy. Layman. Man who is not a cleric, man who is non-professional. Lament. Grieve, express sorrow. Noun, lamentation. Lampoon. Ridicule. Noun, written attack ridiculing or satirizing a person, group, or institution. Lancet. Small surgical tool for making incisions. Lance. Pierce with a lance, cut into. Noun, spear-like weapon. Languid. Lacking energy or vitality, weary, sluggish, listless. Languish. Lose animation or strength. Linger. Lack of physical or mental energy, lassitude, depression. Lank. Long and thin, example, lank, gaunt, Abraham Lincoln. Lap. Take in food or drink with one's tongue, splash gently, example, waves lapping the shore. Noun, front area from the waist to the knees of a seated person. Larceny. Theft, example, petty larceny. Larder. Pantry, place where food is kept. Largesse. Generous gift, given to people who do not have enough. Lascivious. Lustful. Lust. Intense sexual desire, intense eagerness, v. Lassitude. Linger, weariness, listlessness. Latent. Present but not yet noticeable or active, dormant, hidden. Noun, latency, cf. Potential, lateral. Of or coming from the side. Latitude. Freedom from narrow limitations. Laud. Praise, noun, adjective, laudable, praiseworthy, adjective, laudatory, expressing praise. Lavish. Liberal, wasteful, generous or wasteful in giving or using, abundant, profuse, great, example, decorated lavishly, verb, give in abundance, lax. Careless, negligent, not paying enough attention, example, lax service. Leaven. Add leaven to, cause to rise or grow lighter, enliven. Noun, agent, such as yeast, that causes dough to rise, by fermentation, element that lightens or enlivens. Enliven. Make lively or spirited, animate. Lechery. Gross lewdness, lustfulness, adjective, lecherous. Noun, lecher, lecherous man, lectern. Reading desk or stand for a public speaker. Leery. Of someone, suspicious, wary, cautious. Leeway. Room to move, margin, latitude, example, leeway for the deadline. Margin. Border, room, allowance beyond what is needed, example, margin of safety. Marginal. Of a margin, barely within a limit, example, marginal effect, writing ability. Legacy. Gift made by will, something handed down from an ancestor. Legend. Explanatory list of symbols on a map. Legerdemain. Slight dexterity of hand, cf. Light of hand. Leniency. Mildness, permissiveness, adjective, lenient, not severe in judgment or punishment. Permissive. Allowing much freedom, lenient, example, permissive society. Leonine. Like a lion. Lethal. Deadly. Lethargic. Drowsy, dull, noun, lethargy, state of sluggishness and inactivity. Levee. Earthen or stone embankment to prevent flooding, cf. Raise. Levitate. Rise and float in the air, especially by magical means, cf. Light. Levity. Lack of seriousness or steadiness, frivolity, lightness of manner. Levy. Impose, a fine, collect, a payment, impose or collect, a tax, example, levy a tax on tobacco, lewd. Lustful. Lexicographer. Compiler of a dictionary, cf. Lexicography, work of compiling a dictionary. Lexicon. Dictionary. Liability. Drawback, handicap, debts, obligation, responsibility, condition of being liable, adjective, liable, likely, responsible, for paying. Liaison. Contact that keeps parties in communication, communication between groups, one that maintains communication, go between, secret love affair, verb, liaise, keep a connection. Libel. Defamatory written statement, act of writing something that smears a person's character, verb, adjective, libelous. Libertine. Debauched person, dissolute or licentious person, roue, cf. Free. Roue. Lecherous man. Libidinous. Lustful. Libido. Psychic and emotional energy or urges behind human activity, sexual desire. Libretto. Text of an opera or oratorio, cf. Book. Licentious. Amoral, lewd and lascivious, unrestrained. License. Official or legal permission, latitude of action or speech, excessive freedom that causes harm or damage. V. Lien. Legal claim or right on a property. Ligneous. Like wood. Lilliputian. Extremely small, cf. Lilliput in Gulliver's Travels. Limber. Flexible, supple, pliable. V. Limbo. Region near heaven or hell where certain souls are kept. Prison, slang, example, purgatory and limbo. Abode. Dwelling place, home. Abide. Dwell, abide by, comply with, put up with, tolerate. Example, abide by the rules. Example, I can't abide rude people. Limb. Draw, outline, describe, cf. Line. Limpid. Crystal clear. Lineage. Descent, ancestry. Lineaments. Features especially of the face, distinctive shape or contour of the face, cf. Line. Feature. Distinctive part of the faces, as the eyes or mouth. Features, overall appearance of the face, prominent or distinctive quality, prominent article, film, verb, make prominent. Linger. Loiter or dawdle, be slow in leaving, delay going, continue or persist, be slow to disappear. Example, the smell lingered for days. Persist. Continue in existence, last, continue in a course of action in spite of opposition. Example, persist in, with something. Adjective, persistent. Linguistic. Pertaining to language. Lionize. Treat, a person, as a celebrity. Liquidate. Settle accounts, pay off, a debt, clear up, eliminate, kill or abolish. List. Tilt, as of a ship, lean over, to one side. Listless. Lacking in spirit or energy, languid. Litany. Supplicatory prayer, prayer in which the priest calls out and the people replies in the same words. Lithe. Flexible, supple, cf. Limber. Willowy. Flexible, pliant, slender, cf. Willow. Litigation. Lawsuit, noun, litigant, one party in a lawsuit. Verb, litigate. Litats. Understatement for emphasis. Example, not bad equals pretty good. Understate. State with less truth than seems warranted by the facts. Example, he understated the seriousness of the crime. Noun, understatement, up. Overstate. Livid. Lead colored, black and blue, as from a bruise. Ashen, enraged, extremely angry. Loath. Reluctant, unwilling, disinclined. Example, Romeo and Juliet were both loath for him to go. Loathe. Detest, adjective, loathsome, arousing loathing, offensive. Example, loathsome smell. Load. Metal-bearing vein long deposited in ore. Lofty. Very high. Loft. Room or space under the roof, attic. Log. Record of a voyage or flight, record of day-to-day activities, section of a trunk, v. Loiter. Hang about / around, stand idly about, linger. Loll. Lounge about. Lounge. Stand, sit, or lie in a lazy, relaxed way. Longevity. Long life, long duration. Loom. Appear or take shape, usually in an enlarged, indistinct, or distorted form. Example, the shadow of the gallows loomed threateningly. Noun, apparatus for making thread into cloth. Gallows. Framework from which a noose is suspended, used for execution by hanging. Noose. Loop formed in a rope. Lope. Gallop slowly. Loquacious. Talkative. Noun, loquacity. Lout. Clumsy person. Adjective, loutish. Cf. From Countrysides. Low. Moo, make the sound of a cow. Lubricate. Apply a lubricant to. Noun, lubricant, substance that reduces friction. Lucid. Easily understood, clear, intelligible. Noun, lucidity. Lucrative. Profitable, producing wealth. Lucre. Money, profit. Example, filthy lucre. Filth. Dirty matter. Adjective, filthy. Ludicrous. Laughable, ridiculous, trifling. Lugubrious. Mournful, sorrowful. Lull. Moment of calm, period of reduced activity. Example, a lull in the rain. Verb, cause to become less active, cause to sleep or rest. Example, lull the opponents into a false sense of security. Cf. Lullaby. Lumber. Move heavily or clumsily. Example, the bear lumbered through the woods. Noun, timber. Lumen. Unit of light energy, 1 candle's worth. Luminary. Celebrity, in a specific field, dignitary, object that gives light, as a celestial body. Dignitary. Person of high rank or position. Luminous. Shining, isp. In the dark, issuing light. Example, luminous paint, road signs. Lunar. Pertaining to the moon. lunatic. Insane, example, lunatic asylum. Lurid. Wild, sensational, graphic, gruesome, horrible, example, lurid details of the murder. Lurk. Stealthily lie in waiting, slink, exist unperceived. Slink. Move furtively, adjective, slinky, stealthy, furtive, sneaky, as in ambush, luscious. Pleasing to taste or smell, delicious. Luster. Shine, gloss, of a polished surface. Lustrous. Shining, brilliant, example, lustrous hair. Luxuriant. Abundant, growing healthily and in large amounts, excessively ornate, rich and splendid, fertile, example, luxuriant forest/prose, cf. Luxurious, luxuriate, macabre. Gruesome, grisly, ghastly, cf. Of death. Morgue. Mortuary, place where bodies are kept before burial or cremation. Cremate. Incinerate, a corpse, noun, crematory, crematorium. Mace. Ceremonial staff used as a symbol of authority, club-like medieval weapon. Macerate. Soften by soaking in liquid, waste away, example, macerate powdered wood to make paper. Machiavellian. Crafty, double-dealing, of the political doctrine of Machiavelli, which holds that craft and deceit are justified in pursuing political power. Machinations. Evil schemes or plots to achieve an evil end. Verb, machinate. Maculated. Spotted, stained, cf. Immaculate. Madrigal. Pastoral song, song for several singers without instruments. Maelstrom. Violent whirlpool, violent or turbulent situation, cf. Stream. Magisterial. Authoritative, imperious, commanding, of a magistrate, example, magisterial study of Roman law, example, magisterial manner. Magistrate. Official with power to administer the law. Magnanimity. Generosity, adjective, magnanimous, generous. Magnate. Person of prominence or influence, powerful or influential person, in business or industry, example, oil magnate. Magniloquent. Boastful, pompous. Magnitude. Greatness, in size or extent, extent. Maim. Mutilate, injure lastingly, disable, cripple, example, maimed for life. Mangle. Tear or cut to pieces, mutilate or disfigure, example, badly mangled bodies. Maladroit. Clumsy, not skillful, awkward, bungling. malady, illness, malaise, uneasiness, vague feeling of ill health, without any particular pain or appearance of disease. Malapropism, comic misuse of a word, cf. Mrs. Malaprop. Malapropos, inappropriate, adverb. Malcontent, person dissatisfied with existing state of affairs, discontented person, adjective, discontented. Malediction, curse. Malefactor, evildoer, criminal. Maleficent, doing evil, noun, maleficence. Malevolent, wishing evil, exhibiting ill will, noun, malevolence. Malfeasance, wrongdoing, misconduct, by a public official. Malicious, hateful, spiteful, expressing malice, noun, malice, desire to harm others, spite, malign. Speak evil of, badmouth, criticize spitefully, defame, adjective, harmful, example, malign influence, malignant. Tending to cause death, highly injurious, aggressively malevolent, example, malignant tumor. Malingerer, one who feigns illness to escape duty, verb, malinger, feign illness to avoid work. Malleable, of a metal, capable of being shaped by pounding, beating, pliable, of someone, impressionable, easily influenced, easily controlled, tractable. Malodorous, foul-smelling. Compost, mixture of decaying organic matter used as fertilizer, verb, put or make compost. Mammal, vertebrate animal whose female suckles its young. Vertebrate, having a backbone or spinal column, noun, group of animals having a segmented spinal column. Suckle, give or take milk at the breast or udder. Nurse, cycle, take care of, as a nurse, bear in mind, example, nursing mother, example, nurse a hope, grudge against someone. Mammoth, gigantic, enormous. Manacle, restrain, handcuff, in. Mandate, order, charge, authoritative command, power to govern another country, power to give into a government, region under administration, verb, give a mandate to, place under a mandate, example, mandated territory. Mandatory, obligatory, compulsory, of a mandate. Mangy, shabby, wretched, suffering from mange, of bad appearance. Mange, skin disease, ISP, of domestic animals, marked by loss of hair. Maniacal, raging mad, insane, noun, maniac, insane person, cf. Mania, disorder of the mind, intense enthusiasm, manifest. Evident, visible, obvious, verb, show plainly. Manifestation. Outward demonstration, manifesting, indication of the presence of something, example, manifestation of his pronounced musical bent. Pronounced. Distinct, very noticeable, example, pronounced limp. Manifesto. Public declaration of principles, statement of policy. Manifold. Many in number or kind, numerous, varied. Manipulate. Operate with one's hands, control or play upon, people, forces, etc., artfully, maneuver, example, how to manipulate publicity and men, adjective, manipulative. Mannered. Affected, not natural, example, mannered way of speech. Mannerism. Distinctive behavioral trait, affected style in art, according to a set of styles. Manumit. Emancipate, free from slavery or bondage. Marital. Pertaining to marriage. Maritime. Bordering on, adjacent to, the sea, nautical, of the ships or the sea, example, maritime provinces. Marked. Noticeable, targeted for vengeance or attack, example, marked improvement, man. Marred. Damaged, disfigured, verb, mar, spoil, disfigure. Marshal. Put in order, guide ceremoniously to the correct place, example, marshal the children into the museum. Noun, military officer, official. Enlist. Cause to, join the armed forces, obtain, help, sympathy, or support. Marsupial. One of a family of mammals that nurse their offspring in a pouch pocket of skin or leather, cf. Kangaroo, opossum, wombat. Martial. Warlike, of war, example, martial art, law. Cadet. Student at a military school. Martinet. Strict disciplinarian, person who demands total obedience to rules and orders, cf. Jean Martinet. Martyr. One who voluntarily suffers death for his or her religion or cause, great sufferer, example, martyr to his rheumatism. Masochist. Person who enjoys his own pain, cf. Masochism. Masticate. Chew. Materialism. Preoccupation with physical comforts and things, excessive regard for worldly concerns, rather than spiritual matters. Maternal. Motherly, noun, maternity, motherhood. Matriarch. Woman who rules a family or larger social group. Matriculate. Enroll, in college or graduate school, cf. Matrix. Matrix. point of origin, array of numbers or algebraic symbols, mold or die. Example, the matrix of Western civilization. Maudlin. Effusively sentimental. Sentimental. Swayed by sentiment, appealing to the sentiments. Maul. Handle roughly, batter, injure by beating. Example, mauled by his overexcited fans. Noun, heavy long-handled hammer. Mausoleum. Monumental tomb, large stately tomb, cf. Mausoleos. Mauve. Pale purple. Maverick. Rebel, nonconformist, in a group. Mawkish. Mushy, sentimental and gushy, icky, sticky, sentimental, excessively and objectionably sentimental. Maxim. Proverb, truth pithily stated. Mayhem. Injury to body, crime of willfully maiming or crippling a person, violent disorder. Example, mayhem in the zoo, cf. Maim. Meager. Scanty, inadequate. Mealy-mouthed. Indirect in speech, when something unpleasant must be said, hypocritical, evasive. Meander. Wind or turn in its course, follow a winding or turning course, move aimlessly and idly. Meddlesome. Interfering, verb, meddle, interfere. Mediate. Settle a dispute through the services of an outsider, act as an intermediary, produce by mediating. Example, mediate a ceasefire. Intermediary. Intermediate, acting as a mediator. Noun, mediator, go between. Mediocre. Ordinary, commonplace, neither good nor bad. Meditation. Reflection, thought, verb, meditate. Medium. Element that is a creature's natural environment, nutrient setting in which microorganisms are cultivated, appropriate occupation or means of expression, channel of communication, compromise, middle position between extremes, intervening substance through which something else is transmitted. Medley. Mixture. Meek. Submissive, patient and long-suffering. Suitor. Man who is courting a woman. Megalomania. Mania for doing grandiose things, mental disorder characterized by delusions of wealth, power, or importance. Melancholy. Gloomy, morose, blue. Noun, adjective, melancholic, cf. Melancholia. Blue. Gloomy, depressed. Melee. Fight. Mellifluous. Of words or a voice, sweetly or smoothly flowing, melodious, having a pleasant tune. Memento. Token, reminder of the past, keepsake. Example, memento of your visit. Memorialize. Commemorate. Memorial. Something, such as a monument or holiday, intended to honor the memory of a person or event. Adjective, commemorative. Menagerie. Collection of wild animals on exhibition, zoo. Mendacious. Lying, habitually dishonest. Noun, mendacity. Mendicant. Beggar, adjective, living as a beggar. Alms. Money or goods given to the poor. Menial. Suitable for servants, lowly, mean. Noun, someone who does menial work. Isp. Servant in a house. Mentor. Counselor, teacher. Mercantile. Concerning trade or merchants. Mercenary. Motivated solely by money or gain. N. Mercurial. Capricious, quick and changing, fickle, containing the element mercury. Example, mercurial temper, cf. Mood, quicksilver. Mercury. Meretricious. Flashy, tawdry, attractive on the surface but of no real value. Example, meretricious argument/jewel, cf. Prostitute, vulgar. Of the common people, deficient in refinement, not refined, coarse. Example, vulgar display of wealth. Noun, vulgarism, vulgarity, cruelly indecent word, cf. Vulgarian. Noun, vulgar person, bore, lout. Merger. Combination, of two business corporations, act of merging. Mesmerize. Hypnotize. Noun, mesmerism, cf. Franz Mesmer. Metallurgical. Pertaining to the art of removing metals from ores. Noun, metallurgy, science that deals with extracting metals from ores. Metamorphosis. Change of form. Example, metamorphosis of caterpillar to butterfly. Verb, metamorphose, change by metamorphosis. Metaphor. Implied comparison, cf. Simile. Soar. Rise or fly high in the air. Example, the rocket soared into the sky. Metaphysical. Pertaining to speculative philosophy, of metaphysics. Noun, metaphysics, branch of philosophy that examines the nature of reality. Meet. Measure, distribute, administer. Example, mete out justice, punishment. Meteoric. Like a meteor, swift, momentarily brilliant. Example, meteoric rise to fame. Noun, meteor. Methodical. Systematic. Noun, method, systematic method of procedure. Meticulous. Excessively careful, with great attention to detail, painstaking, scrupulous. Metropolis. Large city. Metal. Courage, to continue bravely in spite of difficulties. Spirit, adjective, meddlesome. Miasma. Swamp gas, heavy vaporous atmosphere often emanating from decaying matter, pervasive corrupting influence, noxious atmosphere or influence. Swamp. Wetland, marsh, verb, flood, overwhelm, drench in with liquid. Microcosm. Small representative world, world in miniature, example, microcosm of English society. Miniature. Small model, small painting, adjective, small. Migrant. Changing its habitat, wandering, example, migrant birds/workers. Noun, one that migrates, migratory. Wandering, verb, migrate, move from one region and settle in another, move periodically from one region to another. Milieu. Social environment, means of expression, example, feel out of one's milieu, example, his proper milieu is watercolor. Militant. Combative, bellicose, in. Militate. Work against, example, militate against the chances of promotion, cf. Serve as a soldier. Militia. Army composed of ordinary citizens rather than professional soldiers. Millennium. 1,000-year period, as in the New Testament, hoped for a period of happiness and prosperity. Mimicry. Imitation. Mime. Pantomime act without dialogue, mimicry, mimer, verb, mimic, pantomime. Minatory. Menacing, threatening. Mincing. Affectedly dainty delicate, verb, mince, cut, isp. Meat, into very small pieces, walk with exaggerated primness, walk in an unnatural way, taking little short steps, example, the actor minced across the stage, cf. Mincemeat, cf. Mincer, dainty. Delicate, delicately beautiful, fastidious, not easy to please, example, dainty movement, dress. Exquisite. Delicate, very finely made, extremely beautiful, example, exquisite piece of jewelry. Choice. Delicate, a very fine quality. Minion. Servile dependent, obsequious follower. Minuscule, minuscule. Extremely small. Minute. Extremely small, cf. Minutes, official record of the proceedings at a meeting. Minutia. Petty or trivial details, cf. Minutiae. Mirage. Unreal reflection, optical illusion. Mire. Entangle, stick in swampy ground, stick or sink in mire. Noun, bog, deep mud, example, suck deeper into the mire. Mirth. Merriment, laughter. Misadventure. Mischance, ill luck, example, death by misadventure. Misanthrope. One who hates mankind, misanthropist. Vile. Despicable, unpleasant, disgusting, Example, vile slander. Misapprehension. Error, misunderstanding. Verb, misapprehend. Miscellany. Mixture of writings on various subjects, collection of various items. Miscellaneous. Made up of a variety of parts. Mischance. Ill luck. Misconstrue. Interpret incorrectly, misinterpret, misjudge. Miscreant. Wretch, wrongdoer, villain. Example, kindness to the miscreant, cf. Believe, wretch. Miserable person, bad or despicable person. Adjective, wretched, miserable, bad, contemptible, vile. Misdemeanor. Minor crime, misdeed, wrongdoing. Misconduct. Immoral behavior, bad management, v. Miserly. Stingy, mean. Misgivings. Doubts. Mishap. Unfortunate accident. Misnomer. Wrong or improper name, incorrect designation. Misogamy. Hatred of marriage. Misogynist. Hater of woman, cf. Misogyny. Missile. Object to be thrown or projected. Missive. Letter, written statement, cf. Sent. Mite. Very small object or insect-like creature, small coin. Mitigate. Appease, moderate, make or become less in force or intensity. Mnemonic. Pertaining to memory, assisting the memory. Noun, device, such as formula or rhyme, used as a mnemonic aid. Mobile. Movable, not fixed. Noun, mobility. Mock. Ridicule, deride, imitate, often in derision. Mode. Prevailing style, current fashion, manner, way of doing something. Example, in the latest mode. Example, simple mode of life. Modicum. Limited quantity, small amount. Example, he does not have a modicum of sense, cf. Moderate, modish. Fashionable, conforming to the current fashion. Modulate. Tone down in intensity, change the intensity or tone of. Regulate, change from one musical key to another. Example, modulate from E to G. Mogul. Powerful person. Example, oil moguls, cf. Mogul, mogul, cf. Mongolian, molecule. The smallest particle, one or more atoms, of a substance that has all the properties of that substance. Mollify. soothe an angry person. Mollycoddle. Pamper, coddle, baby, indulge excessively. Molt. Periodically shed or cast off hairs or feathers, for replacement by a new growth. Molten. Melted, example, molten lava. Momentous. Very important, noun, moment, cf. Momentary. Momentum. Quantity of motion of a moving body, impetus, moving force. Monarchy. Government under a single ruler. Monastic. Related to monks or monasteries, removed from worldly concerns. Monetary. Pertaining to money. Monochromatic. Having only one color. Monochrome. Painting in only one color, adjective. Monogram. Design composed of one or more initials of a name, v. Monograph. Scholarly article. Monolithic. Solidly uniform, unchangeable, unyielding. Noun, monolith, large block of stone. Monotheism. Belief in one God. Monotony. Sameness leading to boredom, monotonousness, adjective, monotonous, cf. Monotone. Monumental. Massive, impressively large, built as a monument. Moodiness. Fits of depression or gloom, adjective, moody, given to changeable moods, subject to periods of depression, gloomy cf. Mood, state of mind or emotion. Moratorium. Legal delay of payment or action, example, declare moratorium on the building of new houses. Morbid. Given to unwholesome or unhealthy thought, moody, characteristic of disease, example, morbid curiosity. Noun, morbidity, cf. Disease. Mordant. Biting, sarcastic, stinging, uprack, incisive, gutting, example, mordant men, wit, mores. Conventions, moral standards, moral customs. Moribund. Dying, at the point of death, cf. Death. Morose. Ill-humored, sullen, sullenly melancholy. Mortician. Undertaker, cf. Death. Undertaker. Funeral director, one whose business is to arrange burials. Mortify. Humiliate by embarrassing excessively, shame, punish the flesh, discipline, one's body, by self-denial, example, mortified by her blunder, example, mortify the flesh, cf. Cause to die, mosaic. Picture made of small colorful and laid tiles, adjective. mote. Small speck, isp, of dust. Speck. Small piece or mark, example, speck of dust in the eye. Motif. Theme, recurrent thematic element in a musical or literary work, single or repeated pattern, figure. Motility. Ability to move spontaneously, adjective, modal, moving spontaneously. Motley. Multicolored, as of a garment worn by a jester, mixed, heterogeneous, cf. Jester, one who jests, as a paid fool at medieval courts. Motto. Brief statement used to express a principle. Mottled. Blotched in coloring, spotted, example, mottled face, verb, mottle, mark with blotches of different colors. Blotch. Spot, blot, cf. Blot plus botch. Blemish. Mar, spoil the beauty or perfection of, noun, flaw or defect, that spoils perfection, example, blemishes in the crystal, cf. Unblemished. Mountebank. Charlatan, boastful pretender. Beddle. Travel about selling, wares, cf. Foot. Muddle. Confuse, mix up confusedly, noun, state of confusion. Muggy. Of weather, warm and damp. Milked. Defraud a person of something, swindle, example, mulk the boy of his legacy. Multifarious. Varied, greatly diversified, example, multifarious activities. Multiform. Having many forms. Multilingual. Having many languages, fluent in several languages. Multiplicity. State of being numerous or multiple, large number, example, multiplicity of details, adjective, multiple, of more than one element. Mundane. Worldly as opposed to spiritual, everyday, of the ordinary, example, mundane existence, cf. World, munificent. Very generous in giving, example, munificent benefactor, noun, munificence. Mural. Wall painting. Murky. Dark and gloomy, thick with fog, vague, example, murky night/fog, noun, murk, partial or complete darkness, gloom, muse. Ponder at length, noun, source of inspiration, isp, of a poet. Musky. Having the odor of musk, noun, musk, odorous substance secreted by an Asian deer. Muster. Gather, assemble, troops, example, muster up one's strength for the ordeal, in. Musty. Stale, in odor or taste, spoiled by age, cf. Moist. Mutability. Ability to change in form, fickleness, adjective, mutable, able to change, fickle, cf. Mutate, cf. Mutant, muted. Silent, muffled, toned down, example, muted traffic noise. Mute. Silent, without speech, not pronounced, unable to speak. Noun, one who is incapable of speech. Verb, soften the sound, color, shade of. Mutilate. Maim, injure lastingly, deprive of a limb or an essential part. Mutinous. Unruly, rebellious, example, mutinous teenagers. Noun, mutiny, open rebellion, cf. Mutineer, myopic. Nearsighted, lacking foresight. Noun, myopia. Myriad. Very large number, adjective, cf. 10,000. Nadir. Lowest point, point on the celestial sphere diametrically opposite the zenith. Naivete, naivety. Quality of being unsophisticated, simplicity, artlessness, gullibility. Adjective, naive, naive, ingenuous, lacking worldliness, simple, credulous. Narcissist. Conceited person. Noun, narcissism, cf. Narcissus. Narrative. Related to telling a story. Noun, narrated account, story. Verb, narrate, tell, a story, cf. Narration, nascent. Incipient, coming into being or existence, example, nascent ability in music. Natation. Swimming. Natty. Neatly or smartly dressed, dapper, smart, example, natty dresser. Smart. Intelligent, quick and energetic, fashionable, example, smart pace/restaurant. Verb, cause or feel a sharp pain. Noun, smarting pain. Nauseate. Cause to become sick, fill with disgust, fill nausea. Nausea. Feeling of sickness and desire to vomit, disgust, cf. Seasickness. Nauseous. Causing nausea, feeling nausea. Nautical. Pertaining to ships or navigation. Navigable. Of a body of water, wide and deep enough to allow ships to pass through, of a ship or aircraft, able to be steered. Nebulous. Vague, hazy, cloudy, of a nebula, example, nebulous proposal.